Sure will.
So did you watch Allie much in the Olympics?
I watched everything. I was at the Olympics.
I know you were.
So yes, no, I'd actually watched very little basketball. I watched the USA, and then went to everything else. So it was good. Saw some judo. Let's forget it. Let's talk about basketball.
How'd you like meeting Allie?
I thought we were talking basketball.
No, not yet.
No, that was great. Any of those athletes, it was pretty cool. You really appreciate it when you're there. And see, you know, obviously the gold medals is nice, but even the ones who will lose and you see what they've gone through, you know, Norm Ryan Lochte from Florida and all those guys who won gold medals and then lost as well, and you can see the emotion is pretty amazing.
Are you getting any sense that Avery is close?
And we're going to keep talking about we're going to talk about Avery.
No, now you want to talk about
No, I have no idea, Murph. I've said that, like, yeah. I mean, I don't check, don't ask, you know, like I said, Eddie will let us know. So.
Would he be going down to Maine for any?
He could. That's a good question. I don't know. You know, we won't. All of it is uncharted waters for us. So, I mean, it really depends on the timing of when he's coming back. It could be a time where we have 4 days of practice in a row, which won't happen. But, you know, something like that where he would stay. But I don't know. But there is definitely a possibility.
You see using that D-League team more often for things like that? Or
yeah, I just like it now that we have more control over it. You know, it's been a good fit.
With the D-League, you mentioned it a couple of times, but it seemed funny to think that there was a time where Danny was accompanying Joe bringing down to Arkansas, and how far the D-League has come since then.
Yeah, I mean, just think at one time we were in Utah, our team. Our affiliate was in Utah for a while, you know, so Danny could go to the church and watch games at the same time, so, and bless us all at the same time. But, you know, it's changed. I hope it keeps growing, the D-League. I think it's been great for us and all the teams who either own their teams or have that co-ownership or stuff. I think all of them have enjoyed it, so I'm hoping every team has one eventually.
Do you plan on doing what you did with Chris and Fab yesterday more often over the course of the season if you can?
Well, I don't know if we can, but you know, especially on days where we want to practice and we don't, you know, there's certain guys you may not want to practice, we'll do it for sure.
Doc, how would you say the division's shaping up?
You know, honestly, I don't look at it. I really don't. I know it's a lot of good teams, and you know, Philly and Brooklyn and New York. And, I mean, everybody's pretty good now, but I honestly can't tell you where anyone's at in far as I never look. Hell, I don't think I've looked. I never look. That's not anything I really focus on.
Have you watched them at all, the other 4 teams? Like,
oh yeah, I watch everybody. You know, I watch. You know, I don't just go to watch them. No, I just, you know, I have my NBA package that I pay for, which is a crime. Yeah. No, actually, I don't pay for it. So, I would pay for it. Yeah, I would pay for it. And no, I just watch everybody though, and I tend to watch the East more than the West because that's who we're going to play more. So.
What differences do you see with Joe Johnson's game now versus when he was in Atlanta?
Well, you know, he has just a super point guard with him. So, you know, Joe in Atlanta handled the ball a lot. I mean, he was a point guard. You could make the case in the many games, especially in the fourth quarter. Joe Johnson was the point guard in the fourth, where now he has a guy that can facilitate offense for him, which makes him even better.
Kind of like when he was in Phoenix with Steve.
Yeah. I would say he handles a little bit more, you know, than in Phoenix. I don't know if he handled it. He just, when they threw it to him, he had to shoot it.
What about the Nets overall, Doc? What do you see from them so far, the Nets overall?
They're good. You know, good basketball team, good balance, great size. And, you know, obviously everyone makes, you know, a lot about Joe and Darren and all those guys. But I think the other guys that they brought in, the Reggie Evans, the Stackhouses, the Bogans, I think those are the guys that make them a whole team. I think they've had a nice summer.
When you guys played last time, Gerald Wallace obviously was out. So how much does he change things for them, do you think?
Well, he changes a lot, probably like Rondo will, you know. So, but he's, you know, the one thing he changes is he'll guard Paul more, you know, where they were smaller and we posted Paul up a lot in that game, if you remember. Well, with Wallace, that takes that away some. We're still going to post Paul. We don't care who guards him. But Wallace is a terrific defender.
Doc, Jason Terry said that he's still adjusting to his role with the team.
How have you changed his role at this stage from Dallas?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just try to make him as comfortable as possible. I do think it takes time. You know, number one, he's starting, and he knows, and I know we didn't intend for that to happen. You know, and you know, he may continue to start, he may not start. I've always liked him off the bench better because he's instant offense for us. And that's a big adjustment for him. I think that's the biggest of all of them. And then offensively, we're finding far more ways now to use him. I mean, the best play of the game in the Orlando game was a pick that he set. And that was on Kevin, and he did that for Dirk a lot, you know. And so we're starting to figure out how to use him.
Doc, his mid-range shooting, is that something that you impressed you? Obviously, he can shoot from three.
Yeah, I love mid-range shooters. Yeah. I think every player should have that. Very few do. And especially guys at his size, it's amazing that they don't have that. You know, the floater has come back in the game now. You see all the guards are starting to throw that in. You know, so I guess that is the new mid-range game, is the floaters that guys are throwing. But he's exceptional at it.
Doc, what's your relationship with Coach Johnson, Avery Johnson, like?
He's one of my best friends. You know, we went to dinner last night, and we talked. You know, I played with him with the Spurs, obviously, and he's probably, I don't know, I don't rank him, but he's one of my best friends in the league, and as a friend, we talk a lot. Families talk a lot. So.
Did Tibbs pay for it last night?
Well, yeah, Tibbs should have. You know, I talked to Tibbs today.